Hey guys, and welcome back to my learning space. That was just a little bit of the song of Moses Molelekwa. I really love the music of Moses Molelekwa, and particularly in this solo I wanted to transcribe. Really cool to me the way that he's able to be very melodical. And when you play his way of improvising and just his compositions in general, he was one artist who really was true to the world music idea. I don't really hear a lot of bebop influences in the way that he plays. He uses a lot of pentatonic patterns, well, specific to this solo anyway. We will see later. If you stick around in the video, I will show you how to use some of these pentatonic patterns and lines or shapes in other ways. So the song does end in a fade, and so I transcribed just up until before the fade because that would have been really hard for me to hear. The solo is not actually like a solo, in like a jazz context. It's actually the outro, and it's backed by backing vocals and a whole lot of other things happening. So it's about 6 choruses. It happens at about 3 minutes and 6 seconds to about 4 minutes and 34 seconds. So let's actually hear what the whole solo sounds like, and then at the end we'll talk about what's happening. When you transcribe the whole thing, you kind of get a gist of how he was thinking on a broader scope. There's nothing wrong with taking little sections. You can take little sections, but when you check out the whole thing, he actually repeats a lot of the same things but in different ways. So you actually kind of get a little idea of what his mind was thinking like when he was playing in terms of shapes and shaping his improvisation. So let's hear what the whole solo sounds like. So the song is in B flat major. It starts on chord 6, and it does 5 of 4, and then 5 of 5, 6, 5 of 5, to the 1. It goes back to 6. So I was trying to think of, because that's not really a typical jazz contexty progression. And just also by virtue of how the solo sounds, because he's using a lot of I guess you can say it's actually based off of B flat major pentatonic or G minor pentatonic, but not really so overt in that way, in a sense where he likes these kinds of patterns. And he actually uses quite straightforward ways of applying. Like for instance, when he is on the C7, he does this line of, you know, that's pretty much like outlining like C major, like the triad. And also for, you know, he's outlining B flat as well. So that's a beautiful thing, especially if you did like jazz education. You know, sometimes you don't actually think of doing those things, but outlining shapes so simply is so effective. And I guess also with the way that he places his rhythm, it makes the whole thing sound epic in my perspective. Like the first part, it's almost like he's ahead of the progression. The rhythm part is also there. Let's look at some of the ideas that we can take. So I'm going to take a line, for instance. There's a line where he does when he closes from the 5 to the 1. This one. I'm going to take that, and I'm also going to take, with the pentatonic minding scale, he's using 1, he's using 2, 3, 5, 6, 2, 3, 5, 6, and you can add little things in between. So these, you know, you can add or. So you can add little things in between, and you let your ear guide you basically. So if I do this one, that's a pretty cool lick. But where can we actually use this? So I'm gonna take a 1-4-5. It's got a very African sound, so the 1-4-5 is gonna work perfectly. And 1-4-5 is not as simple to improvise as one would think. So I'm excited to actually add these ideas to my own 1-4-5 playing. So I'm gonna do 1-4-5 in the key of B flat, since we are in B flat. So now you want to start to think about where you can add it. You don't have to play a lot, you know. So with improvisation, you also want to try to use your ear. And you can find other ways of using it. It's actually not that simple. And I think also because I don't usually typically approach improv that way on a thinking of the pentatonic. Usually my thinking is more bebop just because of my background. So I'm pretty excited to use that kind of, to use that language more often in my playing. And I hope this video helped. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And you can also give a monetary thank you. If you look at the heart with the $, that's an option for you. Okay, so I'll see you again in the next video.